The night is vast. It covers the earth, a warm satin blanket of darkness, tucking us in every evening like clockwork. It will never leave us, except for those few brief moments it does. Those moments when, in the shadow of 12 o'clock, you peer through your bedroom curtains to see a light so blinding that you wonder whether it is truly night at all. You wonder why the dependable darkness has forsaken you, left you without a shield against the brilliant stars that burn from here to infinity, scalding your pupils with the intensity of their flame, unsheathed and viciously, painfully bright. But then the veil of night falls once more, and you fall back asleep, only to wake and forgetfully wonder why it is that your eyeballs are still scorched with the angry heat of the night's true soul, when you were sure that your memory was nothing but a wisp of a dream. Welcome to Night Vale Intern Radio. Hello, dear listeners. My name is Intern Rebecca, and I'm broadcasting from the basement of Night Vale Community Radio. With plenty of free time on my hands, more on that later, I decided to give being on air a try. I'm still working out the kinks of the system. For example, the intro just now was a little long, don't you think? Forgive me, as this is my very first broadcast. But last night's anti-eclipse filled me with the need to wax poetic for some reason. Anti-eclipses are not when the moon passes in front of the sun, or when the sun passes in front of the moon, but when the stars pass in front of the very night, as you all know. As children, we all experienced that dreamlike state of wonder over our first anti-eclipse. As adults, they have become so commonplace that we sleep right through them, ignoring our chance to witness the truly spectacular, with protective, government-approved goggles, of course. Why is it that adults patently refuse to open their eyes to the wonders of the world? You can sleep when you're dead, is what my mother used to tell me. Of course, we all know that's preposterous, as it has been proven that the dead cannot actually engage in sleeping of any sort that is longer than a short cat nap. But if you missed tonight's anti-eclipse, let me tell you, you really missed a show. But that's just me rambling again. You might be wondering why it is I have so much free time. How can I afford to while away my time in the station basement with spare equipment when there are surely stories to investigate, dangerous garden ferns to feed out back, coffee to make for Cecil? And you would be right. There are plenty of jobs to get finished, even though it is still the middle of the night. But I am not going to do them. Why? Because I have a dream. That dream is to become an intern who survives. Not just in the metaphysical sense, but in the physical sense as well. And especially in the sense where my physical, intellectual, and emotional selves are all A, physically connected, B, occupying the same current temporal space, and C, alive and functioning. When I was younger, I was always told that if I could dream it, I could be it, and that I should shoot for my dreams no matter the cost. Well, after months and months of observation, I've realized that the only way to actualize my dream of becoming a Night Vale Radio intern whose physical, intellectual, and emotional selves survive in the same current temporal and physical space is to not actually be a Night Vale Radio intern. I am not on the station payroll, or unpayroll, as no interns actually receive financial compensation. I do not receive assignments or tasks to complete. I do not technically exist here. But Cecil knows I'm here, and he knows about my dream, and he has been extremely supportive of my endeavors to venture into the realm of on-air radio broadcasting. And thus, I am on the way to achieving my goal of being a Night Vale Radio intern who does not meet a horrible and tragic demise. The other interns, to be honest, are just jealous that they didn't come up with this plan first. So for now, until I get my bearings, I'm going to try to prove useful. Night Vale Community Radio isn't broadcasting news at the moment. I believe it's time for the nightly vocal commune to the sand nymph that controls the weather on the street down from the bowling alley. Cecil is not nocturnal. The voice of Night Vale cannot be awake to speak to you at all hours of the day. But though I may not be the voice, I am a voice, and I can still contribute to Night Vale's safety and security. Traffic, then, and other important news reports will come to me, and hence to you. Traffic, by the way, is, well, it's not going well for anyone in a red or white vehicle. If you are in a red or white vehicle, you need to pull over immediately and take out your emergency scuba equipment. If you do not have emergency scuba equipment, call your loved one and tell them how much you appreciated that time that they held your hair back, the one time that you had the flu, as well as how much you're going to miss their laugh, the sparkle of their eyes and the reflection of the setting sun, and their never-failing support and encouragement. If your vehicle is both white and red, feel free to continue driving. This has been traffic. See? You folks in red or white vehicles would never have known what to do if I hadn't been on air. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I think I might turn out to be pretty helpful. It's always nice to find something we're good at, huh? Like my friend Sahand. He is awful at pretty much everything, but he's great at geometry. So I figured out a way to have him calculate exactly how many squares of carpet would fit in my living room after last year's catastrophic beaver-nado. It gave him something to do, and it saved me hours and hours of measuring. Some things just work out perfectly. And now, a word from our sponsor. We have no sponsor, as this is an unofficial broadcast and I'm using the station's equipment. So we don't really need any money. I don't need any money, as I am the only person to use this particular channel of radio telecommunications. This has been a word from our sponsor. One other thing I can note for the day, or the night rather, is how quiet the station is. You may have noticed, if you listen to Cecil's broadcasts, how our management has become more evil? I hate to use the word evil. Morally conflicted as of late. But they do not listen to me. I have not been subjected to re-education. Yet. I am safe from them. My thoughts and words are safe from them also. Sometimes, when the public eye is busy looking somewhere else, when you're just a flicker on the peripheral that's forgotten the moment you step out of view, you can get away with anything. At night, there's something about this place, but it feels like the truth can come to light. The truth that is almost brighter than anti-eclipse. And now, the weather. Well, it looks like I'm done for the night. I've got to go punch out my non-existent intern badge at the all-too-existent clock. I think I'm going to go home and have a nice, piping hot cup of chicken noodle soup. By myself. It's a lonely life, listeners. You can't always tell just how lonely. But at least I have all of you, and even though I can't see or hear you, I know that you're there. Listening. Breathing. Living. Or not living, but listening all the same. Good day, Night Vale. Good day. Night Vale Intern Radio is an unofficial spin-off of Welcome to Night Vale, a podcast written by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner. You can find out more about Night Vale at commonplacebooks.com/nightvale. Welcome to Night Vale is also available for free on iTunes or Bandcamp. Support them. They're awesome. This episode of Night Vale Intern Radio was written by Amelia Glass. The voice of Intern Rebecca is Tara Olivero. This episode's intro music was Jamie by Starfucker. The weather was Carnival by the Mexican Institute of Sound. You can find him on SoundCloud or MySpace. Today's nugget of wisdom: never take a goldfish salsa dancing. Trust me, just don't do it.